Yep. What do you remember about your grandparents, for example? I mean, you already mentioned Granny Holt. I know was she the one that they had the word split? I'm trying to
She was
remember.
the remarried Fowler?
No, that's Daddy's daddy. Daddy's mom. That was. Well, I know it was Granny Fowler.
Oh, Granny Holt. She was the one where he died early.
Right.
With the babies and
Thomas, was that his name?
I honestly don't know.
I think it's Thomas something Holt.
Yeah, but we were looking at it. It looked like they were living around Gastonia, maybe.
Yep, that's how. Yep.
And then he died, buried in Greenville.
In his 30s.
Like suddenly, yeah.
Yeah, he was. In his 30s.
Yeah, it was buried in Greenville, and then it looks like maybe her mom came from Tennessee to live with him, and they went up to Virginia.
And see, now as for Granny's mom, I don't have a clue.
I think that we figured out that she had siblings that had moved up from the mountains to Virginia, maybe to work in a mill.
Yeah, I remember almost all of Granny's, like, brothers and sisters.
Do you really?
Yeah. It was Uncle Oscar.
All right, so I remember that when I was real little and Oscar around, but no idea how he was related to us.
Aunt Mildred, Aunt Bert.
Well, Bert used to live down here off of Holden, didn't she?
Yeah.
No, who was that?
She lived in Greenville, or South Carolina somewhere.
Maybe that was just someone Grandma went to church with.
Let's see, Aunt Bert, Aunt Muncie.
Muncie, I remember.
Aunt Eller. I want to say there was another brother. Was it Mildred?
This is where we have to get the...
Oh, yeah.
Mildred. And there's another sister called Mildred. Mildred and the other sister married two brothers. Yeah, yeah.
So what do you remember about your grandparents? Like, do you have any?
Well, Granny, I remember Granny real good, because, she was around. She lived right up the road. Granny Fowler, I only remember her after she had her stroke. So only memories I have of her is laying in the bed of her Pawpaw's house.
I'm trying to find. So what do you remember about Granny?
Granny Fowler?
Or any of them?
Well, I remember Grandpa Ralph, that was Daddy's daddy. Had white hair and built like Daddy, long and tall and slanky.
They have the big ears?
And had the big old ears. Big old, had a head full of hair. And, Daddy had a bald spot, and your dad's getting a bald spot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, where'd that come from? Because we got a head full of hair.
Yeah.
I don't care if it turns gray, as long as it turn loose. Grandpa Ralph, he died when I was young, but I remember he would come down for Christmas, and we'd have a big old time and everything. He was married to some lady named Rose Lee. And
I'm trying to...
Yeah, I'm trying to pull it all up.
Okay.
And then, like I say, Granny Fowler, all I remember her is after she had her stroke. And
so I want to say, maybe it was your dad's dad that we found that got married like 3 times and had like 18 kids. It was something crazy. Like our branch was from their first wife, and then he went on and so.
Well, remember he married Rose Lee.
So I think it was.
But I didn't know if there was anybody after. Well, he was with Rose Lee when he died.
This was the one you're talking about is Robert Lee.
So Robert Lee was Granddad's brother.
My grandpa's brother?
No, your dad's brother was Robert Lee, or Lee, Uncle Lee.
Oh yeah. Nelson Lee McBride.
Nelson. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a Robert Lee.
Okay.
He passed away 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And Aunt Catherine passed away too.
So we were talking about that on the way up here because I was always told that I think Dad only met her like maybe once or twice, if that.
Who, Aunt Catherine?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, really?
That was his favorite aunt.
Oh.
You know how my favorite aunt was Aunt Tomato?
Yeah.
Okay, Aunt Catherine was your daddy's Aunt Tomato.
So
yeah.
We're talking about that too. I remember being at Aunt Tomato's house one New Year's and her doing the Bengals walks like an Egyptian dance.
Good old Aunt Tomato.
Yeah. That still cracks me up. So Did you have a favorite uncle?
Well, one time Uncle Bob,
Yeah.
the one I was named after, on up till I got like teenage years, and he kind of turned into one. But of course, my favorite aunt was Aunt Tomato.
No.
You know,
She hated me. Oh my God.
Aunt Tomato?
Yes.
No.
She.
No. No, bud.
She did.
Aunt Tomato was a saint. She'd never hate nobody. She would be your great aunt, right?
Yeah, she was my great
Yeah.
aunt, but yeah, I'm pretty much convinced, or I think she was convinced I was a Satan worshiper and didn't want anything to do with me.
I think me and her had that conversation one time. I was like, no, he's just weird. He's just weird.
Yeah.
He'll outgrow it. Took you 40 years, but you did.
I think it's a matter of opinion.
Oh, bug.
So, okay, well, let's.
I'm gonna fast forward for 1 minute.
I'm sorry. Okay, I was about to say we're going to. I was going to
Fast forward till the night that my wife met Bug.
I don't remember this.
Go ahead. Oh, I do.
I do. We were in,
Somewhere in Georgia.
I don't even, somewhere around Marietta.
I want you to meet my nephew, Bug.
Something like that. Drove up, there were several people there. I was like, okay. They all looked normal. And we walked into the living room, I think it was, and you said, this is Bug. And I went,
Hi.
hi. And I just looked at Rob and I was like, that's your nephew? I think your hair was 6 different colors
It
at
was.
the time.
It was. Yeah, like blue, red, green.
Like-
you know.
The rainbow colors. And I was like, okay.
But it's so common now for people to do that.
Yeah, it's very common now, but back then it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
like that was just like totally different.
I
I just wasn't expecting it, and he had not prepared me for it. So
And I didn't prepare for it on purpose. I like
just,
to watch
he
this.
wanted to see what kind of reaction I would have.
It's kind of one of them deals. Hey, y'all, watch it.
Yeah.
But we hung out for a while, and we left, and I looked at him and I said, "You knew all along, didn't you?" And he cracked up laughing, and I said, "I had a feeling."
Yeah.
He likes to pull jokes.
Yeah, I'll never. I think we went back and forth. So, I mean, for a while there, you know, I would live with you for a while. Thank you for that. But when I was younger, you helped me out a lot. So, especially in Georgia and stuff. But you know, I had one of my buddies I used to run around with was Richard Baker, and there was some reason these two guys just got along.
I dig with some Richard to this day. Yeah. He
Got along so well. But I'll never forget. Somehow I know that they ended up with matching pajamas. And Robbie was asleep, and Richard went in there to climb into bed with him. And the next thing I see is Richard running out of Rob's bedroom, and Rob running right after him in matching pajamas. So
I don't remember that.
I do. So I think he was. I'm sure he went in there just to mess with you. So it was.
Yeah, I'm the type don't mess with me while I'm sleeping.
Yeah.
Now I'll tell a Bug story. There was this one time I wrestled at Alpharetta Auction Barn, and I took a bad bump or something. I think I separated my shoulder or something. I was hurting. I was hurting bad. I come home, and Bug is there.
Not Randy.
And Bug is there, and he says, with one of your friends, you know where I'm going with this, Bug?
She's fine. She's on the lead. She's fine.
I thought you were filming, and I'm sorry.
Oh,
That's
no.
That's a professional.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking for yourself, I'm a professional wrestler.
Go ahead.
So I'm home, and I'm hurting. I'm in pain so bad. And Bug is there, shows up or something. I had that roommate, Chris.
Oh man, he hated me.
And Bug showed up and said, hey, do you care if a couple of friends of mine hang out and this, that, and I said, I don't care what you do, just be quiet. I'm going to bed. Just, you know, I'm hurting bad. So I go to sleep. I guess an hour or so later, I get knocked. Hey, Rob. sorry, Bubby. Chris is waking me up and saying, hey, saying, hey, you need to get up. I'm like, why? The police wants to talk to me, to you. Police wants to talk to me.
I still remember that.
Yeah. So I get up, I walk out of the bedroom into the kitchen, and there's like 50 people in my house. And I'm looking around. Who are these people? And Chris kept saying,
Can is that your car?
the Mini Cooper?
Can you move it so I can get my car out so Betty can get hers in? Because Betty's car is loaded down and we can't get it unloaded until.
Yes.
You want me to park it over there?
I'll move it, I'll park it across the street.
Okay.
Thank you.
She just,
Something told me not to park there. It really did.
well, that's okay, but I'm parked there too.
Okay.
I don't know about that, but she's got her car loaded, so.
Yeah.
Which she said that she would pull it in.
Okay. What was that? Oh.
So there's a ton
50
of
people in your kitchen.
Yeah, there's a ton of people in my house. And I'm like, who are these people? And the police is there, and luckily I knew the deputies. There was like, well, how many deputies? Well, like 4 or 5 of them, wasn't it?
I don't remember.
And okay, so all these kids are underage. They're all been drinking. I had no idea. No idea. And he looks at me, he says, you know I can arrest you. I said, for what? He said, because you got underage kids in here and they're drinking. I said, look, here's the deal. I said, I wrestled tonight. I've injured my shoulder. I'm in pain. I'm hurting really bad. All I know is when I laid down to go to sleep, it was my roommate and my nephew asked and a couple of his friends come over. That was it. I don't know who these people are. So he said, well, the best thing you need to do is tell them to leave. I said, everybody get the out of my house now. And so everybody, they were leaving out, and Bo was like, even me? I said, even you. And my roommate looked at me and said, even me? I said, even you, go. And yeah, so I was like,
You hadn't told me that.
yeah, he ain't gonna tell you that
remember
story.
So I remember you being told to get out, yes.
Yeah, you remember
You
that?
remember inviting 50 people in?
I don't remember inviting 50 people in.
There was a bunch of it.
I remember, I do remember, and this may...
And I may be exaggerating, it'd be 50 people, but it was a lot.
So
Enough to
I remember that Richard, and I don't know if you remember Brian Hooper.
Brian.
So he was one of the guys.
Wasn't there a Brian Nixon?
That's Shane Nixon.
Shane Nixon.
So Brian was one of the guys around with us, and he had 2 girlfriends, and unbeknownst to us, they had actually run away from home, and were at your house when the cops showed up, and we were like, "What? The runaways?" Of course, I think Richard knew, maybe Brian, because they were not my girlfriends; they were their girlfriends. So, but
Same trailer?
same trailer.
See, stuff he put me through. So I don't remember the whole runaway deal
No.
and the police showing up.
So I remember there was one trailer, a different one, that Angela was convinced was haunted. Because you guys had a waterbed, and the thing moves all the time.
That thing was haunted. No, I know where you're talking about. Yes, it was. Yes. There was a Shadowwood mobile home park. It was a double wide, and they said a kid like passed away in it from scarlet fever or something. And I believe it. Because I'm gonna tell you what, we'd be sitting in the living room, and all of a sudden, from out of nowhere, the kitchen faucets would open up and start.
That I do remember.
You witnessed that.
I saw that myself.
Did you witness the one where we had a TV in the living room? I mean, in the bedroom. It would come on all by itself. I cut it off. Come on again.
I forgot all about that. I remember the water coming on by itself now.
I cut it off. I turn it toward the wall, right? It comes on by itself. I cut it off and unplug it. It comes back on while it's unplugged. That is no lie. Martin, when he was a baby, would be up there, just giggling and laughing, I'm telling you, that place is haunted. But yeah, the water.
Yeah.
You be sitting in the living room and hear kids running and playing next door, go out on the front porch, look, and there's nobody home next door at all. Yeah. That place is haunted.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yes. Because back then I didn't believe in ghosts until then. Yeah. Ghostesses. Ghostesses.
So let's hear the story about how you two met. Do you remember that?
Yep. We met in a laundromat.
Okay.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah. She was doing laundry for her husband. And me and Angie split up, so I was doing my laundry right next to Rocco's Pizza, you know.
Well, which isn't there anymore, which is sad, but.
Yeah, no. Is the building in there? Did they?
No, the building's still there. So.
Yeah. Bobby's dad is probably dead now.
Yeah.
Or
Well, I mean, it's so funny. So, you know, when we first moved back to that area, we drive down 92. And
See, I forgot. You live there now.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll drive down 92 when we first moved back. I was like, Robbie used to work there.
Yep.
Robbie used to work there.
He used to work
Robbie
there.
used to work there.
Yeah. This is true.
Oh.
Rocco's, where you can rent, used to be the store right there at Wade Green Road.
Yeah.
Used to be a Speedway.
Yeah, I think the Speedway is still there.
Really?
Yeah, so it's funny too that the house that my dad had the car lot on is actually some kind of like, it's, again, another car lot, but it's like for trucks.
Really?
Yeah, so.
We rode by there, what, 3-4 years ago?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I went down Bells Ferry going toward like Canton.
Yeah.
I didn't even recognize it.
Didn't even recognize
Yeah, on 92, I think they actually moved the road at some point. So, because
Well, now, on the Accor side, they did.
Yeah.
You don't go by his old car lot,
Yeah.
the 92 wholesaler.
Yeah.
Yeah, they redone it, rerouted it.
Yeah. So I mean, because I was like, man, no, this looks familiar, and I was
Yeah.
like,
So you're in the laundromat.
oh yeah,
I'll
I'm
get you
sorry.
back there.
Do what?
You
You're
guys
in the
met in the
laundromat.
laundromat.
Oh, yeah. And so, she had her 2 kids with her. I was like,
How old were they at the time?
4 and 5, maybe?
Something,
Oh.
yeah.
They were young,
Yeah.
young. And I was like, hello, hot chick, you know, to myself. So I struck up a conversation. We started talking, and she said something about, yeah, my husband. I was like, come find out, I knew her husband.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I knew her husband. I met him through your dad.
Oh,
He tow truck driver. So I was like, man. So, all right, so we said, you know, see you later, this, that, and other. So I didn't see her again for what, 6 months?
Something like that.
6-8 months. And I started working for You Can Rent. Well, lo and behold, her husband were customers at You Can Rent. And she come into the store, and I'm like, I know you. Where do I know you from? And she knew she would never tell me. So after about the 34th time, I'm like, okay, where do I know you from? I know you. She's like, come in here. I'm like, no. Where? She's like, you talked to me in the laundromat. I was like, oh, okay. So she would come in the store, and I don't know who it was. I just had odds for it bad. She'd come in the store, and when she'd walk out, I'd just boom on the floor, you know. So somebody told me about 6 months later or so that, or maybe she said something that her and her husband was having troubles. And I was like, yeah, hey there. So they finally stood up, and so good old Rod moved right on in, like, because I told one of her girls that she worked with, and I said, you be sure to tell her I said that. And so she told her that I liked her and had hot smart. She's like, you're kidding. What was it?
I said, y'all are just making it up because there's no way. And
Oh, yeah.
then his boss
Yeah, my
actually
boss.
told me that one day when I went in, he said, you know that when you leave that he just falls out on the floor and is not worth anything the rest of the day. And I just looked at him and I said, you're kidding. And he said, no. You walk in, he falls out, I can't get anything else out of him the rest of the day. So then I kind of changed my attitude about it a little bit. And
And like she was a customer, and they were still together, like Christmas Eve of '93. And it's like I went by to pick up a payment or something. And we'd always hug each other, you know, this, that, and another. And I wanted to kiss her so bad. Come find out, she wanted to kiss me so bad, but we never did. So once her and him split up and everything, we got together, and the rest is history.
well, yeah, I had to get out of the relationship and had to move in a rapid rush.
Of course, to this day, he still swears up and down that.
And no, he doesn't. Not anymore.
Well,
Well, since he's had his stroke.
True. But there for the longest time, he swore up and down that me and her were seeing each other behind his back while they were together, but we weren't.
But when I had to
I wouldn't
move,
do
it was
that.
pretty rapid. And so I called him and I said, hey, I need some help. Can you help me move today, like now?
Yeah.
Because I was having to get away from some violence. And so he said, sure. Well, then when he helped me get into the new place and all, he was afraid to leave because he was afraid that the husband would come
Come
back.
back.
Which he did drive by the house a few times, and Rob was there.
One time I got mad and I chased him.
He went outside and would stand on the porch, and that's, I think, where he got the idea that we were seeing each other, but at the time we weren't.
Yeah.
We were just friends.
Even though I wanted to. I don't like it.
And we just kind of waited, and just after a couple of weeks, it was obvious that we didn't want to be separated. So he started staying at the house so that I had some kind of protection because I didn't know what the husband would do.
Strictly plutonic.
So were you into wrestling as much as he was?
I had watched it growing up with my
Tell him
family.
about our first date.
And he asked me to go out one night, and I said okay. Girlfriend kept my kids for me.
And I said, do you like wrestling, professional wrestling? She's like, yeah.
Sure. So we went, and
Center stage, Atlanta.
yeah, got me in, sat me down. He said, I'll be right back. I was like, okay. Figured he's going to the restroom, whatever. The show starts, and I'm like, where is he?
Longest time.
Like, did he leave me here and just, gonna figure out how to get home? What is going on? Music starts, and the guys come out, and I look, and it's him coming to the ring, and I'm going, what is he doing? Like, how did he get down from here to down there? Like, what is going on? And I wasn't really close to the floor. It was probably about 6 rows up or something. And I was like, what? Oh my God, what is he doing? I just couldn't figure it out. And then he got in the ring and started wrestling, and I was like, okay, we really need to talk. I just didn't know what to think at first. But we had a long talk on the way home. And I said, you could have told me ahead of time. And that's when all the joking started.
Yeah, that would have been
It's
fun.
always been that way since the first date to now. So,
I mean, we've had some bad times, but one couple ain't.
That's what I say. Every relationship
Who ain't?
has.
we hit the 7-year mark and had a really rough patch for about 8 months.
And almost split
Came
up, but
very,
we
very
never
close.
did. We never did.
Came very close, and then we decided we were going to work it out, and we've made it. Last month was 25 years we've been together. We've been married 24 this year.
Nice. That's awesome.
She's my last wife.
3 kids and 8 grandbabies later.
Well, if you count Boo Bear and
Bears
Brown
are-
Dog.
yeah,
Brown Dog.
our 4-legged babies.
Yeah. I kind of like this one.
Well, she's a sweetheart. She just doesn't get out enough.
Is that what you call a Labradoodle?
Golden Doodle.
Yeah.
Golden Doodle.
Yeah, they make miniature ones too, which I think
So it's a golden retriever and a
poodle.
poodle.
Yep.
So I think Ronnie has a Labradoodle, I think, which is a lab and a poodle. I always thought poodles were little dogs.
Yeah, they're big.
Really?
We have,
Standard poodles are big.
yeah. But you can get a golden and a mini poodle and get a smaller size dog.
So, to back up some more, what was your very first job?
Oh, Lord. Groomtown Exxon. Groomtown Road.
Tell them how you wasted time there with Bo.
Oh, yeah. Well, my nephew, Bo. Well, I think you've been a part of that.
Yeah, I was part of some of that as well.
Where we were in the booth.
Yeah,
And
because
the
you
wind products that they sold, everything that was flammable, we took a cap and put it in the metal ashtray. And took
You were
turns.
part of that?
I was not part of it. So there was a time though when I was around where there was a lot of playing with fire.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I
Lighting
mean,
the bottoms of your shoes with lighter fluid and running across
No,
the road.
no. Emptying the gas hoses and stomping
Oh,
it. And
jeez.
then,
Okay.
And
I thought
then-
it was lighter
Yeah.
fluid.
I remember Bo emptying out bullets to get the gunpowder out to make. There was the coffee creamer because you're like, oh, this stuff's not flammable. And
yeah.
that stuff was super
I
flammable.
showed my boss man that just the other day.
Did you really?
Yeah.
So, and I remember, which is this. You actually started this was something I used to do with the waitresses at the restaurant I worked at. But I remember, I think it was either Randy or Shane had dropped off their car, and you moved it across the street, and then when they came back, you're like, some guy came out, jumped into it, and
Was you there the night that Shane was asleep in my Pinto? Shane was asleep in my Pinto. So I took my car and I pulled it up on the rack and they raised it up. Shane was asleep.
How you sleep through all that, I don't know.
And about an hour later, we heard the door opened and Shane come running up. Well, I remember come limping up to me, hit me right in the face. I couldn't get mad. Me and Bo was laughing so hard we were crying, and then ran across the road. The crazy things that we would do. We're old.
So you're.
I can't finish this. There's cockroach killers. Remember them?
No, I don't.
You don't remember the cockroach killer?
I'm sure you start.
When we were going to go pick Mama's car up from American Muffler,
Okay.
and I had these things I made out of bobby pins, and you take it and it would.
Oh, I do remember those.
And
sometimes those were painful.
I always get bugged, always. So to make a long story short, we go to pick up Mama's car. Me and Bo's in there, and we told Bo just wait on us. Well, as we're in there talking to the man, Bo decides to come in with a cockroach killer and right on my chest, and and it hurt. Oh, it hurt so bad. And I was trying to, hold my composure, and I'm looking at Bo, and I'm like, kill him.
It was a love-hate relationship we had.
So we pay for it and go pick it up, I go out to the car. This one here is done locked the door. Won't even let Bo in. And okay, I can't, since we're in a church, assume this is the middle finger. He's like, and it was like, I was gonna kill him.
There was several times that you were gonna kill me.
Yeah. I just. Then there was the one time over on the duplex that we really made him think that somebody would break it in while he was taking a shower, and we didn't.
Well, let's back up a little bit. There was an actual peeping Tom.
Yes, there was an actual peeping Tom.
So this was kind of downtown Greensboro area, but they lived in a little duplex.
Walker Avenue.
Him and his first wife. A little small 2-bedroom. Yeah, it was 2-bedroom. And Angie one night was taking a shower, and someone started knocking on the bedroom or the bathroom window when she was taking a shower. Yeah. So sure enough, about a week later, I'm in there taking a shower, and I hear a knock. I come running out, in the towel. Because I thought it was one of them playing a trick on me. But all of them were in there. And then years later, he was like, "That was me."
Yeah, we didn't let him know about it until 10 years later.
It was a long time ago.
It was us. We did it. But yeah. There's just so much stuff. So much.
No.
We've done so much.
Yeah. I remember dropping the firecrackers out the bottom of the car. I don't know if you remember that. One of the LTDs had a hole in the back seat.
Yeah, that was Mama's Buick. Yeah. The same car we cruised through Roy Rogers through with smoke bombs. Remember we opened the door and it looked like Cheech and Chong.
I don't know if if you remember this, but the old Roy Rogers had the bathroom on the outside, and we had been cruising along, and you started talking crap about Bloody Mary. Oh, it's fake, blah blah blah. I can't remember. I know Bo was with us. I think maybe Randy or Shane or something like that. And you're like, let's just go to the Roy Rogers and I'll prove you. And I think it was you, Randy. I'm not sure who else went in, but it was like
me, Randy, and Bo. I think me, Randy, and Bo was like, we'll do it.
So you guys go in there, shut the lights off, and do the Bloody Mary, and the door opens like this.
Yeah.
And I put my foot on the door to where they couldn't get it open. So they go in there and go, Bloody Mary, Bloody Mary. And then I hear screaming, and then the door shaking, and they couldn't get out. Yeah. So, oh my God, he was so mad.
And to this day, I don't know what it was, but I saw something. I don't know, because it was pitch dark, And there was something that just seemed something, Oh, yeah. It's one of them crazy things. Good times, good times.
Yeah. So, I mean, I know cruising was a huge thing for you growing up.
High Point Road. Yes.
So, do you have any stories about? I mean, the thing I remember, one of the things I remember is the putt-putt that used to be there on High Point Road. So, and I wish we still had those pictures, but I remember me climbing on one of those elephants.
I think we've got them pictures.
Really?
I think I've
We've
got one of
Mama's
you.
foot lockers.
Yeah.
Oh,
It
do
has
you?
pictures and stuff
Yes.
in it.
So
I'd
I-
have to go through it.
I mean, I would love to get a hold of this. I mean, I've been scanning pictures and putting them online so
Yeah.
everyone can have them because, I mean, some of
Yeah.
this stuff you just, you know.
Yeah, I've got one or two of Mama's.
I would love to borrow those if you wouldn't mind, just so I can scan
Actually,
them.
I've got a scanner.
What's that?
Maybe I got a scanner.
Do you?
Yeah, I got one of them Canon wireless ones. I just ain't used it.
So when Mom passed away, I went out and got, you know, really super nice one, just, you
Yeah.
know, so I get everything scanned and whatever. Because I mean, there were so many pictures, and then, you know, there's 4 of us, and so it's been a very long process. So let's hear some stories about the cruising.
One that comes to mind. We were me, Randy, Shane, and a buddy of mine, Jeremy. Jeremy, big old boy, you know, had a mullet. You know, we were all riding around. We done got finished cruising Hop on Road, so we're heading to my house. So we're turning on Groomtown and head toward my house. And right there at Sedgefield School, there was a kid walking, probably maybe 10, 11 years old, maybe. And we holler out at him. Well, as we looked, this little kid let us know we were number 1, but used a different finger. I put that car, slammed on brakes, put that car. I said, "Did you see what he did?" He's like, "Yeah." So all of us get out of my car, right? And we're going toward this kid. Well, we started looking, and this little kid is running toward us, right? All 5 of us get scared and run back in the car and take off. We get about half mile down the road, and I stop and I'm like, there was one of him and 5 of us. Idiots, you know. So we turn around and go back, and of course he was nowhere to be found. But yeah, to this day, it shocked us so much that he was running toward us that we all got scared. You know, you can't do that nowadays. Somebody just shoot you. Drag racing on Hop on Road. Drag racing.
Like those.
Well, I remember we used to enter the Dixie, the dirt. What's that?
We need to switch the damn place.
Okay. We used to enter the amateur racing at the Dixie Speedway.
Spectator race.
Yes. So
Is Dixie Speedway still there?
it is. So we were talking about it on the way up here. So I keep on telling them, I was like, you know, even if you're not in the racing, you should go at least once just to experience it.
Yes, to get covered in the red dirt.
So and it's so